So that's the end of this little geocaching hunt. If you want to stick around, by all means do. I'm going to take you for a little walk along the cliffs between Blue Dolphin Caravan Park, where I'm heading towards now, and Filey's Country Car Park, and then head home. So there should be some nice views of the sea and the coast if you want to stick around and have a watch. I might put a little bit of music over this. I might not, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Time will tell. It's looking a bit wet over there, over the wolds. Thankfully there doesn't appear to be coming anything towards me, because that's the way the wind's blowing towards you now, towards me, the camera. So this is Blue Dolphin Caravan Park. Sorry if the wind is a bit strong. I have got a wind buff on the mic, but as you know, everything has its limitations. Looks like they're doing a bit of work while the camp's closed, but I think directly up ahead I should be able to access the cliff tops. Here it goes. Just reached the top of the caravan park. It's a bit blustery, but yeah, there's the cliff top over there, as I thought. So we'll head over. That's quite good. There's a little calisthenics track around the caravan park, which is quite good. Yeah, I can see the sea. Wow, the wind's buffeting the camera around a bit. Let's see how this rock steady feature of the DJI Osmo works. I'm just going to hold the camera up so you can see. Bempton Cliffs and Flamborough over there in the distance. It looks very wet out there to see. No, I don't mean the sea. I mean in terms of the rainfall. I appreciate that might have sounded a bit ridiculous. It seems wet out to sea. Really, Cal? Really? I'm actually quite pleased to be out doing this path because I've never been along here before. As I say, I might have done when we were kids. My parents might have brought us out this way, but it's not something I have any recollection of. That's a big pile of mud, actually. Turf. That's interesting, isn't it? So there's a stile there that says Danger Cliffs, unguarded edge before this point. You'd think it might not be worth the risk of going on there, but let's do it. Over the top. The wind will be behind me soon, so it should. Whoops, nearly slipped and fell in the mud. Oh wow, very blustery. At least it's blowing me away from the cliff edge because it's coming off the sea. Bloody hell. Oh. Wow. Oh wow, I've never seen that area before. let's go on a bit further. As you can see, these cliffs are quite precarious in places. Can you see that dangly bit there? Harsh terrain. Let's go and have a closer look from this point. Wow, look at that. So that's the bit I've just walked around. I don't know whether you can see this, but there's water running down the cliffs and the wind is blowing it, blowing water back up. It's really quite wild and beautiful around here. Centre screen now, those kind of outcrops that you can see, the cliff outcrops that go into the sea, they I think they're just yon side of Scarborough area, so that's the coastline that heads up towards Robin Hood's Bay and Whitby. Just a bit further round and you can see the outskirts of Scarborough now, and Scarborough Castle on the hill. Tumultuous out at sea. And there's a sign here about the National Trust. And there on the other side, behind it, you've got Filey. It's amazing how much shelter these cliffs provide, Filey. Look at that weather coming in there. Looks like Filey's actually getting a bit wet, so I might be in the right place at the moment. Whew. Yeah, that rain's definitely coming in over Filey at the moment. I'm just on the outskirts of it here. In fact, I'll just turn the camera around. You can see there's a few little shower trails coming down from the clouds, and it's stinging my face as it hits me at the moment. Getting wet. Oh, top and bottom. It's a little bit yeah, it's definitely a shower. It's not going to last long, but definitely catching me and stinging my face. Oh. Ooh, a little bit more shelter from the wind here. Whew. I'll just flip this camera around so you can see the other side actually, where the sun's breaking through the clouds, because it's quite a contrast. Yeah, look at that. Heavy rain over Filey, but then over Bempton and Flamborough, a bit of sunshine and a bit clearer. The parallel side of my face where the wind's been buffeting it, it feels even more numb than normal, and it doesn't feel like my eyes closing properly. So centre screen there, where you can hopefully see the new build development with the green covers over the roof. That's where I started recording this morning, so that's the beginning of Scarborough Road on the way out of Filey. Right, let's have a look and see what the coastline is like at this point. Oh, it's a bit brighter out there at the minute. This cliff edge looks very precarious, doesn't it? See the gulls milling around. You won't be able to see this on the camera, but there's tankers out to sea. Yeah, you see that slip mark? I nearly went. Can you see all that yellow in the cliffs? I believe that that's sandstone. And then above it, there's the clay cliffs, all the clay and mud. And you can actually see where the clay has dropped as well. That's quite a good view from here. So there's Scarborough, centre screen. You might be able to see the castle in this footage. The cliffs and so on. The wind seems to have dropped a little bit, which is a bit of a relief. That's the direction we've come in. You can just on the top of the hill there, again centre screen, see the caravans that we passed. Now that's quite a good view. All the way up the coastline that way, towards Scarborough, and then beyond, heading towards Robin Hood's Bay and Whitby. And I'm on an outcrop here, which provides a view then all the way down to Filey Brigg, where you can see the waves crashing at the bottom there, crashing into the cliffs, and then a bit further beyond Filey Brigg. And then over there we're moving into Filey Bay. And you can see why these cliffs provide Filey with quite a bit of shelter from the North Sea. So I come to a bit of a fork in the path. So I can either go that way, continue along the cliff edge, and then it won't be too much further before it turns right onto Country Car Park. And I believe I know where this one brings me out anyway, which is basically bypasses the Country Car Park and cuts the corner out. And I think in the spirit of things, considering the weather's eased up considerably, the wind's dropped quite a lot, I think we'll go that way. I know it's going to be the muckier route footpath wise, but hey, what the heck, while we're here, why not? People. First people I've seen for a while. And they've turned back already. They didn't get very far. Never really have known what that white post is for. I think you'll be able to pick it out. But from here, we're just approaching the top of Filey Cliffs. Let's have another look out. It looks like Scarborough's getting a bit of a battering at the moment and the wind's picking up. We're just on the tail edge of that little bit of rainfall. So that pole that I just mentioned, there's actually a sign about it here. This pole is one of several on Yorkshire coast which was used to simulate rescues from stricken cargo ships. The Filey Volunteer Life-Saving Rocket Company, formed in 1872, practiced rescue techniques by firing a line towards one of their members positioned at the top of the pole. This practice continued until the 1960s, when improvements in navigational equipment rendered the company redundant. The pole was restored by Filey joiner Mark Colling in 2015 on behalf of Filey Brigg Ornithological Group, with funds from Scarborough Borough Council. Well, I guess that answers my question about what that was then, or what that is. The cliffs that you can see in the centre now. There are ladders that go down those formations. We used to go fishing off them when we were kids with Dad. There's always a bit of a treacherous climb down, and people still do it. The ladders have been restored and repaired, but they're always a bit scary. But I do remember my dad he'd have his arms around my legs all the way up and just take it one step at a time with us. Bit of wind as I get towards the cliff edge.